The Nyaya Philosophy or the Nyaya Darshana is one among the Shad Darshanas or the 6 famous Vedic philosophies. Nyaya Darshana was found by sage Gautama. In the post-Buddhistic period, that is somewhere around 250 CE to 450 CE, the Nyaya philosophy became very famous. The followers of the Nyaya system was known as Nyayikas or Nyayites, and they constantly involved in debates with the different schools of Buddhism. Nyaya sutras were written by sage Gautama, and so it is said he is the founder of this philosophy. By this constant debate with the followers of the different schools of Buddhism, Nyaya system became very famous, and also Buddhism also became famous. Nyaya, the word itself means the process of right thinking, the clear thinking. And what the Nyaya system believes is, by right thinking, by clear thinking, we get right knowledge. And only by the right process of thinking, we can achieve the Atma. That is their belief. And to get this right thinking or for this clear thinking, they use logic, reasoning, argumentation and debate. Only by that they believe they can think rightly, they will get clear knowledge, and by that right knowledge, right and clear knowledge, one can attain the Atma. The base for this, their knowledge is perception, that what you see, you believe. It is known as pratyaksha. And the next is anumana, that is inference, reasoning out. If I see a smoke there, then I can reason it out that there is definitely fire. So by that technique, that is their basic knowledge. And another is upamana, that is comparison, comparing the result of one with the other. And the next is the verbal testimony, that is known as the shabda. And it is their belief on the words of the reliable scholars or the reliable people. With all these as basic knowledge, they have formed a very fine, strong system based on reasoning, valid logic, argumentation and debate. Their system is very powerful that a naive person cannot argue with him. Only scholars can argue with him. They have very strong rules for argumentation and debating and reasoning, and they have very good rules for valid logic also. And because of this, only scholars have an inclination for this Nyaya system. They have very strong rules for argumentation and reasoning, and sometimes Vedanta philosophers also use their techniques to establish or to prove their points. One of them is the famous Sri Adi Shankaracharya. We can find these argumentation techniques, the reasoning techniques of Nyaya system in his works, in his bhashyas, like the bhashya of Bhagavad Gita, bhashya of the Upanishads. We can come over this. And many more Vedanta philosophers have also used their logical reasoning, argumentation, debating techniques to establish their points in Vedanta. Their theoretical part they have, that is the metaphysical part, they have borrowed from the Vaisheshika system, and that's why the Nyaya system and the Vaisheshika system are allied systems. What they say about Atma, the self, is Atma is a dravya, it is a substance. It is infinite, eternal, it cannot be confined in a space or time. The Atma of one person is different from the Atma of other. That is why when one is liberated, the other is in bondage. And they believe that the Atma is not self-conscious. When it comes in contact with the mind and the senses, consciousness arises in Atma. By right knowledge, reasoning and valid logic, the Atma separates from the mind and senses, and that is the liberation of the Atma. This is their concept about Atma, the self. And they strongly believe in the presence of God. That is the grace of God. They believe or they give a father-like figure for God. They believe that God is the dispenser of the result of our karmas. And they believe that it is the will or the grace of the God to liberate a person from bondage. They also believe that God is eternal, infinite, and they believe that God is the creator and He maintains and dissolves this universe. But He does not create this world out of nothing. He creates this world with the eternal atoms. And along with that, He creates this world with eternal soul, mind, time, space, and ether. With all this, He has created this world. That's their belief. They believe that there are 6 realities behind this creation. And so Nyaya system is also known as pluralistic realism. Nyaya system is known by many other names too. It is known as Vada Vidya, that is the science of debate. It is known as Pramana Shastra, that is the science of logic and epistemology. The Hetu Vidya, the science of causes. The Tarka Shastra, that is the science of reasoning. By all these names, Nyaya system is also known. Nyaya system is very famous for its argumentation and reasoning techniques. They have very fine rules for that, but their theoretical part is a little bit weaker than the other philosophies. Vedanta philosophy overcomes the theoretical limitations of the Nyaya system. Even though Vedanta philosophers borrow the reasoning techniques, argumentation and debating techniques of Nyaya system, their theoretical part or their definition about the Atma and Paramatma is very stronger in Vedanta. Nyaya system accepts Veda, but they don't accept as it is. They just reason it out, argue with the Vedic scholars, and then they accept the Vedas. That's why it is included in the Shad Darshanas. And so that's the Nyaya system of sage Gautama. Thank you for watching.